Shalom Aleichem, friends. Chaim Alevsky here from Chabad Family Programs. I hope this works. So, there's this beautiful story about a person, a man. Hello. Shalom. So it's a Dvar Torah on the go. It's a beautiful lesson about a man. A beautiful story about a person who was very simple. A Jew, an elderly Jew. And he stood out. One of his uniquenesses was that he used to pray. He would be ma'arich b'tfilato. He would pray at length in extended prayers, not only on Shabbos and on Yom Tov, as is customary for some people, especially in the Hasidic community, but also on the weekdays, on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and even Fridays, as the Rebbe retold this story as he heard it from the previous Rebbe. And this man was so simple that although he was raised in a Hasidic community, he knew how to read well, but he didn't understand the meaning of most of the prayers, especially the difficult words. Yet, he would pray every single day for many hours, for 40 years. People asked him, why is it that you're praying so much? What are you doing? Not mentioning the fact that he doesn't understand the prayers, but what's going on? And he said, this was a Chassid of the Alter Rebbe, and he said that he once heard a Torah talk from the Alter Rebbe on the Ten Commandments. There's a bit of a change in the two versions, the two times the Ten Commandments, the Aseret are relayed in the Torah. Once, the first time, was in Parshas Yisro, and the second time was in this past week's Parsha Vaeschanan, regarding the observance of Shabbos. So this is a known discrepancy and a known, the two versions in the commandment regarding Shabbos. The first one in the Yisro says, Zachor, es Yom HaShabbat lekadsho. Remember, keep in mind the day of Shabbat and keep it sanctified and sanctify it. And then it links that to the creation of the world, because God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh. That's in Yisro. In Vaeschanan, in this past week's Torah portion, it says Shamor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho, which is observe, guard, keep. Be careful about the day of Shabbos, and it links it's the date, the mitzvah of Shabbos, to the exodus of Egypt, because God took us out from Egypt. This is a known difference in the Ten Commandments. The first one, as it was given by God at Mount Sinai through Moshe, where Moshe first said Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho, and in this week's Torah portion, when he relates the story, he repeats it with this difference. And in the regular biblical commentaries, they talk about this, of course, at length, and they say Zachor-Shamor, bediבור echad. Zachor, first one, remember, and Shamor, and guard, observe, were said bediבור echad, were actually said in one word. They were said together at Mount Sinai, Zachor-Shamor. That means God said them both simultaneously. We heard them both at the same time, and we registered them both. When Moshe repeated it, he repeated one at the first time, Zachor, and the second time, Shamor. Remember first and then observe. So, that's the classic understanding. Now, the Alter Rebbe in the characteristic Hasidic manner of taking words from the Torah that may seem strange, or ideas in the Torah, and connecting them with a very strong relevance in our daily service to God. He took this phrase, Zachor-Shamor, bediבור echad, remember and observe, were said in one phrase, in one saying, in one utterance. And he explained it, said this Hasidic elderly man who would pray regularly at length. He explained it to mean Zachor ושמור בדיבור echad. In every dibur, in every word, dibur means word, spoken word. In every word that you say, remember and guard and observe the echad, the oneness of God. Zachor ושמור בדיבור echad. In every word you say, in every utterance, let's remember and extract and seek out the oneness of God, b'dibur echad. And with this man was davening for 40 years, says the Rebbe, as he related a story that the previous Rebbe said about a chassid of the Alter Rebbe. And the Rebbe continues and tells us, regular humans, you and I down here, and he says that every story that comes our way is here to teach us a lesson, for us to learn something from it. And here too, we see this man who barely knew how to read. I mean, he knew how to read, but he didn't know how to translate well. Yet, he lived with the davening, with his prayers, so much so, every single day of the year. So too we can, no matter where we are, even if we feel that we're missing elements of our Jewish education, and we don't understand that much, or we could have learned more, it doesn't matter. We can pray like he did, and we can pray every day, and especially to extract Zachor-Shamor b'dibur echad. And the Rebbe added that the word dibur means word, but it also shares the root with davar. Davar means thing. So the Rebbe extended it and said Zachor-Shamor b'dibur b'davar echad. In every word you utter and in everything you interact with in your life, remember, seek out, find and observe and relate to and keep the oneness of God, the vitality, the life force that creates it. And that's the idea of Zachor-Shamor b'dibur echad. Rebbe says when you do this, then your day becomes, use a Yiddish, very beautiful Yiddish expression. It says, a durchgedaventer Tag. Durchgedavent means permeated with prayer. Your day becomes like a prayer day, a day of prayer. Durchgedavent. And what does that mean? It means that we're connecting to the one above constantly throughout our day and everything we do. And the Rebbe said that if you actually look at the word prayer, tefillah in Hebrew comes from the word tofel klei cheres, it's in the Mishnah, which means to bind, to glue together, to stick together two separate things and put them together, make them as one. So when we pray to God, what we're really doing is we're uniting ourselves with God. We're uniting earth with the heavens. And that's the concept of prayer, to connect us with God. And the Rebbe connected that with the ladder of prayer. Everyone knows Jacob's ladder, Yaakov's ladder, where Yaakov dreamt, and there was a ladder that was rooted firmly on the ground, but its head reached the heavens. And that has become the symbol, the sign of prayer, the symbol of prayer. And today we all talk about the ladder of prayer. So too, says the Rebbe, this ladder unites heaven and earth. It brings us to heaven through our prayers, and it brings heaven down to earth. Just like the angels on that ladder, we're going up, bringing our prayers up to heaven, and we're also coming down, bringing down God's blessing into our world. So there you have it. Zachor-Shamor b'dibur echad. Remember and observe in every word, in every dibur, in every speech, every utterance, and every davar, and everything Echad, the oneness of God. Don't jump. Someone loves you. Yeah. Anyway, that's the story. God bless you. Have a great day. Someone was threatening to jump over there. Okay.